right, so
Isn't it
so
really
now,
lovely?
now just to take it away, I'm like, how do we start? Anyways, it's hard for me to now sit down and say, well, it's not hard, but it's just weird saying, "You guys, it's Gabriel Afolayan."
I've been now.
Like, I can't seem to remove that look on your face from the Airtel adverts. Very like this. like, what was that look? Wait till that look.
Oh, man, nah. She know me be this. How far? This bed, go bring something, call. No mind me, Jai.
Good to see you.
Right.
Yo, Gabriel Afolayan, actor. What else do you add to those names these days?
Is actor and also a musician.
Okay.
Yes, now.
And a writer.
A writer, filmmaker, everything, all of the above.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to
yes.
Radio.
I'm glad you.
Yes, the topic to. Well, I don't like to call it a topic. Let's just have a conversation.
Right.
So I've been thinking about. So normally we just think about many other things, like facts like respect, or things like respect, or just particular things that I think we don't deliberate on them enough to know the meaning of those things. Right. Even in the usage of those things. Like, it'd be like plenty words they use for English, but we don't really know the meaning, but we know the appropriate usage of the thing. And I feel like it gives you a more dynamic ability when you maybe have an in-depth knowledge or analysis of what something means. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be academic.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It doesn't have to be as you've learned from anybody else.
It's for everyday use.
Yeah. Like I said, I may read books, but I'm very interested mostly these days in reading people.
Right.
Like
that makes sense. You have to read people because there's always a pattern to lifestyle.
Yes.
And pattern is what you should follow, because people say one thing and they do, right the opposite. So it's always good to study people. It makes sense.
Yes, so I study people more than I study books these days.
You don't study book finish now, so what's going to remain again?
I swear.
Now people remain now.
Yes, now. So our conversation today will be on respect. It's not an interview.
Right.
It's just a discussion. Because I feel like there is learning in people just observing conversations.
Right.
And in observing those conversations, you can then now, because I think there's something called the dialectic method, whereby nobody's telling you what to do. You're just discussing the answers out. Yes. So, speaking on respect,
right?
Your view.
Oh well, respect for me, is in twofold. One, respect as an occurrence, and respect as a sign. As a Yoruba man, the Yoruba cosmology, we are very, very traditional and cultural, to be precise. So we always want symbols of things. We always want that symbolic representation. So if I do this, that means I'm showing that, okay, you've been here before me. Not necessarily, okay, you have something to teach or something I need to learn from you. So respect as an occurrence is when you're truly an inspiration, either direct or indirect. That's those two folds. They just lay it bare for you. So even if you check a family system like that,
your microphone.
Okay, checking your family system,
yes,
you see that you as the firstborn, you naturally take some roles that you're not. There's a subtle voice you hear that you don't even know that you've heard. In the school community, seeing your younger ones going through some form of bully, and you just step in. Nobody taught you that. Like you're saving the day kind of thing, and you're not even telling your younger ones what you're doing. You're just doing the right thing according to how you feel at that particular point in time. So your younger brother or sister will look at you at that minute and see someone who is different from, back home. That's some form of respect to say, okay, you inspire me, you're defending me. So that means I can hide behind you. I can say, okay, I have somebody somewhere. If I'm in a situation that I can handle, that's Respect.
I can trust you to be on my
trust
side.
you to be on my side. So that's respect
As an occurrence.
as an occurrence. So respect as a sign is okay. Mudai shajue, which the Yorubas embrace a lot. Even in China, I think the Chinese culture too, because once you do this, it's for a master who has something to teach you. But Yoruba would always let you know that, okay, once I'm here before you, either I have things to teach you or not, just know that I can teach you something, even though you are not seeing it in form of practice yet. So, because I exist in this realm before you, you have to, that's respect as a sign. When you prostrate, when you kneel down, those are respect based on the fact that, okay, he's an older person, he's been here, he's more experienced, even though I haven't really learned anything from him, but by virtue of him being around before me, let me just accord him that respect. So those are my two views on it.
That's interesting, because whilst you were talking about respect as a sign, I was like, okay, so is that right?
Generally, in recent time, like I said, the Yoruba people will always, buttress things.
Yeah.
Like, how do they say this thing in Yoruba? Obamilayin was the first thing till they figure out that Agba Okogbo. Do you understand? Which is where you are leaning towards to say, okay, respect has to be earned.
Agba Okogbo?
Yes.
Please break that down. Because I know Ashishe Okogbo. But Agba Okogbo. Why is the Agba always right?
That's where my boy. Life has pushed to a certain point where everybody wants to know what you have to offer. Meaning, okay, you want people to respect you. People want receipt. Okay, I'm a doctor. Okay, there's an accident scene. You just showed up. Oh, okay, make way. Let me go in there and do what I have to. They will look at you like, okay, who are you? Yeah, you understand? But the minute you show up like this, you flash your, I'm a medic. You understand? Like paramedic or whatever it is. They'll part that way for you like Red Sea.
For police express.
You understand? Like, it's a normal thing. They are just going to move away for you to go in there. So I think we've pushed past where respect has to be Obamilayin. Do you understand? It's more of, okay, because meaning if respect is earned, so it's not always people that are older that you can actually respect. You can respect someone who's way younger than you, who has even a lot to teach you, directly or indirectly.
Hence, respect is reciprocal.
Reciprocal. You must have something you're bringing to the table.
But then this leads me to, so respect in understanding that you've placed.
Right.
Self-respect. Well, you need a mirror for that. Yes, so what then is self-respect?
Self-respect is that value you bring to yourself. That's it, basically. The self-respect is, okay, you understand? Like, you know the two ways that things can work, either bad or good. But you said, you know what? Because even in that bad sphere, things still work for some people. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the self-respect here is when okay, but back in you love me. Does you understand? So okay, I want to be a medical doctor, but you don't have the habit of reading a lot. How is that going to be possible? So that means you have to be self-disciplined. That means you have to put yourself through a process of reading that you're not used to. So once you're done with all this process, it's very inconvenient to, boy, you try to. So all those things accumulate, and there's one thing they always say: once you put your mind to anything, you get it done.
Yes.
So the respect you get that emanates from your own self-respect is that first value you've brought into your own life by doing the right thing at the right time, and you inspire people around you. So I think I see it like that more.
Self-respect.
Yes.
But then we're in a society.
Yeah.
We're in this society, and our society is almost as though what they call respect is very...
Do you know who I am?
As in...
Do you know me?
What do you know?
Who are you?
What do you know? Like... And the underlying principle for me is self-respect or respect of spirit.
Right.
Or say essence. So you're seeing individuals,
right,
but you know that it is plenty men that makes, well, plenty people that makes humanity, right? Or it's plenty of us that makes all of us, right? But in that plenty of us, there is one of me, there's one of you, there's one of the other person. So how I respect myself is knowing that I have value. Maybe not, in this case, is not physical.
Right.
Like I'm not bringing physical value to you,
Like
except myself.
Right.
Physically, I'm bringing myself to you, and that's the value.
Right.
However, no matter how crazy things get, no matter how speculative and imbalanced things are,
right,
I am of value.
Right.
I am value. Right. And if I see myself as that, for reciprocative reasons, it's only right for me to see you in the same light. Maybe not totally factually exactly as I see myself. Yes.
Okay.
But I just respect being.
Just being, yeah.
Yeah. And because I respect myself as a being.
Yeah, yes.
Right?
Yes,
because I respect myself as a being. And knowing that I am not the only being there is. It only makes sense that whatever value that I have, since it is reciprocal,
right,
if I want it, I must be willing to give it.
It's a choice.
Yes.
It's a choice.
And for me, that's the honest way for there to be respect that cuts across.
Okay.
Right? So, in that understanding...
But then, we all have different lives, yeah?
Yes.
It's quite essential to know that, see, no matter what, even if you're a respecter of space, you respect souls, you respect territories and stuff and all that, you still have to cut your own code according to your size. Meaning you literally can't be for everybody. Even if you think, okay, Danny Wono, but bringing value, you can't bring value to everybody.
But so this is what it is. I can actually beg to differ.
How?
Say, naturally, wherever I go, the value is not determined by the amount of people that validate its being value or valuable. It's not that. The value is the existence of the value.
But if it is existing and it's of no use to you, then...
No, I'm saying if I walk to a place...
Right.
Anywhere I walk up to in my life, don't worry. Nobody needs to tell me.
They know you now.
Even when they don't know me everywhere. But even when you don't know me, you always I know. It's not about you, know.
Like you command an
Even
aura.
if you don't know me, I know that I am of value.
Of course. I'm not even talking about self-awareness. I'm talking about you already know what you have as a person, but now being of value to other person. That's where I'm even coming from.
Oh yeah, you can. For me, value to other people, first of all, if you have value to yourself, don't you understand? Like, so me being Vector, for example, the fact that I'm Vector, if I go to a place or any place, someone wants to take a picture, automatically, without me even trying, I'm of value in that space. And that is the mental place that everybody needs to get to about the self, because I'm not even seeing that as a special thing because I'm Vector. I'm seeing that as something to expect from every human being. That when you walk into a place, i.e. Sorosuke Abi, now when you get mouth, now you feel speak out now.
Right.
So if respect in this sense is I believe myself. I believe that I am of value. Like no matter what it is, I am of value because there will be in some reality where my existence is of value. Whether it's because of votes.
I get that.
Whether it's because of lyrics, whether it's because of melody, whether it's because of production. I take that. However, I do not take that for granted because I am aware that I'm not the most special.
Cool.
I know that I'm special. No, let me not say the most special. I'm aware that I'm not the only special
person, yeah.
Right? the one way differ for never judge a book by the cover. The fact say see person skinny know me if he be black belter.
Deaf.
So person who respect himself, you know they fight, they no beat them.
Of course.
Because he know they fight. Right? You know they look for trouble.
Right.
He will just walk away. So respect of the self, then ripple effects. If it's honest and genuine enough, it ripple effects into every other person respecting you, even when they don't know you. Because, bruh, you will respecting yourself. You won't do more than yourself.
Of course.
And not doing more than yourself would avoid you a lot.
It would help.
Yes, it will help avoid a lot of disrespect.
Yeah, basically.
Yes, now as the best way wise.
So I'm even coming from a point where your circle is just small, because you know what you carry and you know the value of that. Okay, this is an extension of me to this person because it's in my circle.
Yeah,
do you understand?
Of course.
And you know it's so solid that okay, he has or she has same thing or something even more to offer as well. But now being of value to the entire populace, that's a different ballgame entirely.
Oh yeah,
it's a different ballgame.
This goes a long way to answer. Like me, I believe anywhere I step to, I am bringing value to the table already. Not by what I'm bringing physically. Right. Anywhere I go to, I am of value.
That's self thing.
But that's how everybody is because, bros, if let me say I'm the most important guy,
right?
And I go outside and I don't see anybody.
I'm actually talking about how useful is that in every situation.
It is, because if I go out and I don't see anybody out there, I will check myself and say, kilo day. So the fact that I'm even seeing people is value.
Well, right.
Yeah, like, so what this is about is pretty much helping the mind shift.
Right.
And the mind shift of, yes, you can be of value to everyone. Everyone that you encounter. The ones that you don't encounter cannot be counted. You get what I mean? Because they're not represented. People you don't encounter are not represented. So it's kind of like, I've always had this funny idea about math. Like, why is 0 represented if 0 means nothing?
Nothing, yeah. But hey, actually, number starts from 0.
But I'm saying, how can a number start from nothing and it is identified as nothing? Then that means nothing is something because it has an identification.
Of course.
Right? But I can.
It has a sign.
Number starts from 1. Yes, now. So it is 1.
You're only familiar with the fact that number starts from 1.
Well, my level
because if you say, okay, we get to 10, if the 0 is not there, it's not 10.
This is what somebody told you now, that is after 9 is 10 now.
It's after 9 is 10.
Yes.
But in the physical, you can see it now.
In what field?
Oh yeah, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10.
See, it is in your car and bear, in your major and bear, in your meta and your there are now plenty.
Of course.
Like, I don't know, but I feel like, yes.
Because everything is a vantage point for anyone that sees anything. As far as I'm concerned, anything you've heard was propagated by someone's thinking, someone's thought process as well. So seeing yourself...
You said someone, not some 0.
Well, whichever way you want to go.
The beginning of it is someone. Like, so, that's my question. 0 kilo shimbe. Then I say there's minus. Whereas in the simple context, otutu wa, otutu po, otutu po ju. Like, what am I doing saying? At this ratio,
right.
it is this cool. But I totally understand. I totally understand, and with respect is why I was having this conversation about respect is because let me trace my thoughts back. Oh, and yes, and pardon me, guys. I'm a mental person. We all are. In the background. We all are. I'm a mental person. So, because my mind functions at such a simultaneous way, but in simultaneous parts.
Right.
So I can be here and I'm mentally on, like, bruh. It's like when you're freestyling, you're thinking about what you want to say. You're thinking about how you're going to say it whilst you're trying to say it. It's yeah. So I would have to trace my step backs a lot. Yeah. Just follow me, Sha. And if you get lost, don't worry. It's not my fault.
Oh yeah.
I was made this way by God for a reason. So, but taking it back to respect
right.
and self-respect, I feel like, yes, I'm very careful and cautious about how we place analogies on things.
Right.
So I say, you can't be of value to everybody. Yes, I can be of value to everybody. What they see it as is their own palaver. It's their own problem.
Yeah, but that's the end result of what you want to do. You want them to feel what you want to do. You want them to get that value you want to bring.
Now, the difference is I'm not doing it because I want you to see the value. I'm not doing it because I want you to get the value. I'm doing it because I am the value.
No, of course. See, recognizing that your value is different.
I know that.
They know you have value.
Yes.
You understand? But how much does it affect people? Because if you say you have value as a person, your joy is to see what you do and how it affects people as well. You understand? And somebody still see you. They still look like, okay, yeah, now Victor, but I still not send down.
It's okay.
Do you understand?
Because I respect myself enough to know that such conversations are not, I'm not engaging.
So do you want to agree with the fact that you're not for that person, even if you think you have value?
Oh, the argument was not that I'm for everybody.
No, it was.
No, it's like
self then to every other person.
Well,
that you meet.
Yes. So I said the people you meet, the people you don't meet don't count, because that's
even the ones you meet. That's the one I'm even talking about now.
Yes, I was saying. Do you remember our analogy of zero? Our conversation about zero.
Of course, now
the ones I don't meet do not exist.
Okay.
They exist, but they do not exist in the validation of what I'm saying.
Of your own consciousness.
Yes, they don't. They exist in the say just holistically representing the fact that
we
are a lot of people, we many, but in analyzing respect, and I think that's also very important as a thing for us as people, especially as Africans or Nigerians, is that we need to start to critically analyze things away from, people. We need to start to critically analyze things by what exactly they are. Like what this thing is. So, for example, when I'm having a conversation, I am having a conversation with you.
Right.
At this point, whatever anybody else is saying, it can be referenced in conversation, but all I am saying is you making points out of all those other things.
Right.
But it is you that I am talking to. Right. So I will not expect everybody to respect. Like I don't even know what that is. If somebody say, "And a vector no send them," like me say, "Get people are no send them," but it don't mean anything. As in, I can't. If person coming to say, "So Gabriel, you don't send me." So you don't send me.
Now you understand that no matter what, either respect as a whole or the self-respect thing, it's still not so generic in terms of you affecting a lot of people with it, or a lot of people seeing you and say, okay, I respect this guy.
But the purpose of respect is not for you to affect people with it, to the best of my knowledge. The purpose of self-respect is so that you don't spoil something, you don't embarrass yourself.
Shebotimo.
Mi ò ṣebotimo nítorí èrò àwọn èrò. It's not that. I'm not trying to
she carry me in terms of
me. I know just like I feel beats person. So and I know one beats person. So I guess for me I feel beat person. Me say person say feel beats me. So and I know person beats me. So let me just be. Let me just be
for who I am for.
Bam. What I know applies to my spirit. What applies to my essence.
Yes.
Orimi. In Koto applies to what I like. I don't like to be malhandled or rough-handled. So I respect myself.
So okay, you might be of value to people, like that you come across almost every time. And I'm telling you now, it doesn't work that way. You can see yourself as a value. Yes, you are a value. By you existing, you are one.
Yes.
You understand? But now, value in himself. Value, okay, how do we express this? How do we reach out to spread this value? And in turn, what do we get? Respect.
I feel like the best way to reach out and express value is just be value. Once you are value, everybody that has experienced you will see value.
We'll pick a piece.
Will see value.
Right.
And once they see value, that is all. It is not my doing. Don't you understand?
If it affects you or not.
Yes, me being a musician, and okay, now it leads us clearer to purpose-driven, right? Why we're doing this.
Right.
Me as a musician, the value that I see myself as is I am a gifted person and I'm a talented person. Right. I'm a writer, I'm a singer, I'm a producer, I'm a composer, I'm all that, right? That's all that is for me. But there are people who, frankly speaking, in the name of we want the best for you because we love you, are trying to place value to me based on what other people are expecting.
Right.
And I'm saying to you that value is only value. Value is not validated by
someone else.
Anything else other than the person experiencing the value. Right? So as I meet you now, for some people, whatever their opinion about your acting is to them. To me, my G, like, hey, nice. I've seen some of that and it's dope. Like, that's to me. It's kind of like people saying, but you're so underrated. Do you underrate me? No. How do you know I'm underrated? Oh, you've heard somebody that said they underrate me or that say they don't rate me. Okay, so fine. It just means there's no appeal there. Why is that affecting?
Now you get what I'm saying. No. Because the argument now is you being a value and affecting people that you come across with. And I'm saying, even with the people that you want to come across with, some of them, they still have their reservations.
It doesn't change the fact that you're value.
No, it doesn't at all. No, I'm not even saying that. I'm not even looking at that. I'm saying, okay, you as a value, okay, how much can you do?
The height you can do is be valued. So it's taking it to respect.
Right.
The height you can do is respect yourself. Now, can you respect yourself and affect the community with respecting yourself? How can you do that practically? Practically other than just respecting yourself, right? So the only way for me to love you is to love myself. I love myself enough to not want to get into an altercation whereby I'm now stressed. Not because I cannot fight you or face you, but I love myself enough not to stress you so that you don't stress me.
Yeah, I'm helping you to help me.
Boom.
Yeah.
Like that is what it is. So if I say self-respect, I can go somewhere and you hear it, Vector is not, I don't run around with the pack.
Right.
Like, I guess lone wolf would be the proper...
It's not even a good thing to keep running with.
Yeah, like, I don't run with the pack. Yes. So, if I won't run with the pack, because when they born you, they no born you with people, not unless you be twins or triplets. You dare yourself now. Yes. So, I feel like the basis of respect in general, right, as we've spoken about, okay, so value and everything. Once you respect yourself, even borderlining that into value or, say... appreciation or all those things self-respect is only self-respect. And if anywhere you go to, if you truly have self-respect will be present. For me, respect is respect. And that's why it is reciprocal, because all of us know what respect is. We all know what that is. How you decide to now run your own is different. But for me, respect is what it is. It is I carry myself well.
Right.
It is I speak well. I don't speak to you how I don't expect you to speak to me. And if I'm speaking to you in a way that you may feel offended by, best believe that I've analyzed it and there is a reason I'm speaking that way. Now, it doesn't have to be validated, but there's a reason I'm speaking that way.
Well, a lot of people want that validation.
You see what I'm saying now? Because it is me and you having this conversation, I do not add a lot of people that want the validation because they are not here.
That's what I'm taking out of the argument. Validation.
But respect doesn't need validation though.
That's what I'm saying.
But does it need it?
No, it doesn't. It's to say that's why your circle will be small.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just going to affect the people that, you have your own disciple and that's that about that. Wow. Like, you can't be the next Jesus Christ or the next Michael Jackson and stuff and all the rest. Because the minute you're trying to solve the world's problem, that's when you are going to start your own problem from. You can't.
Wait, though. The minute you're trying to start the world, solve the world's problem, that's how you begin to...
That's where your own problem will start from. Huge. Look at it inward, deeply. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Meaning you're made for the people you're made for. So even if you say, okay... respect, I carry so much self-awareness. Okay, why are they not feeling me? They don't feel you, they know they feel. You understand what I'm saying?
But who they ask why they know they feel them?
People they ask, fam,
Okay.
People they ask, people they ask.
The bottom line of this conversation is that I always, maybe I should make it known, maybe I should start my conversation with that. I am having a conversation with you.
Right.
Now, how people think,
it's just...
It's cliche. We already know. We already know that people think like idiots a lot of times. No offense to the idiots, but yeah. We already know that people think silly.
Right.
And you're like, but there's nothing you can do about that now, can you?
There's nothing. There's nothing. Even if you feel your way is the right way, some people still see that like, okay.
Yeah, so I then, from respecting myself.
Yes. Now saying, okay,
you know what, this is not about.
People feel me, I go follow.
Yeah, like, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not trying to have you respect me because it is fashionable.
A lot of people are out there for that.
Or because it is a good look.
A lot of people are out there for that. They forget that respect is earned.
That's why I don't talk
totally earned.
That's why I don't concern myself with a lot of people. I feel like it's not that I don't love people. It's not like I don't care about people, but because there are a lot of different opinions, and this has happened in my life. If you respect yourself, you go mind the kind of advice where they collect. As a matter of fact, you go mind the kind of conversations where they get. It's out of self-respect.
Of course.
And I feel like that's the basic foundation to now say whether respect by sign or I feel like the ultimate, the first step of respect should be the one to the self. You now extend that one to the self to everybody else. And it doesn't have to be as a gathering or saving the world. It is at any point they meet you. At any point they meet you, if you're self-respecting somebody, they will always see that you're self-respecting somebody. Like, you know, go do past yourself. You know, go look, say whether one's in the trend. Okay, you know, say whether one's in the trend. Say, okay, this is the trending idea of respect. I need to be that. It's just like in self-value, I guess. So please, as we have not given her plenty now, you need to give me a corroborative or a capsulation.
Oh, of course. It's just to say basically that from self-respect, every other thing is aligned in terms of who you are going to, to be on the long run and how much people you're going to be able to carry along in your journey. Because if you're a gifted person, definitely you're made for some people. And the more you put value in that thing that you're gifted with, the more collage of people you have on the long run. It's pretty simple. Respect is huge in all dealings. In all dealings. Even when personally respect you, there's still a form of respect playing out. Because if it wasn't, then we wouldn't have that long talk. We won't argue. We will just launch into that fight straight. I just they think say, I just they look you. If not be say,
but is that respect?
Do you understand? No. It's still in a way. Why? Because it's still a hold back to say.
That's hesitation now.
But okay, why is he hesitating? Because he don't know what you feel do now. Do you understand?
That's then fear.
You don't know what you feel do.
That's then fear.
See, if it's fear, then it's more of, okay, I'm not doing this, but I'm still standing and talking to you. It's to say, we can avert this. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
We can avert this. Okay. That's why this long talk is happening. We can avert it. That's what you are saying underneath that.
That's a Yoruba.
Do you understand? Like, if you want to go the ego, then go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
You get? That's why they always say, okay, PH boys and Lagos boys. When I say, it's a fact. For you to stand there and rain all the curses and abuses, it's okay. This can be about, okay, would they come separate these fights? Now you are doing a delay tactics for this not to happen. So I'm big on respect. I'm big on self-respect majorly, and just to know that it's not a crowd mentality thing. Your form of life would always affect the people that it would affect. And that's that about that. And just own up and say, okay, maybe wherever you now go to, you see some other strange attitude and you feel like, okay, why are these people acting this way? They are just who they are. Just leave them alone. So that's my corroborative fact on that.
I mean, yes, self-respect will make you not interfere.
No, it will make you avoid a lot of things.
Self-respect make you not interfere in what's not your business.
Right. And that keeps you away from a lot of
trouble.
That can stress you.
However, in Nigeria, self-respect will put you in a lot of trouble.
You understand that?
Because
that's why I said.
But then what then is trouble again? Because you respect yourself, you don't do something, you can't get lack for something.
Nigeria is trouble already. Nigeria with his own. Everybody's just end up with doing something crazy and all that. Not looking at the antecedents, not looking at okay, why is this way? Can we put more?
A lot of people don't respect themselves.
A lot.
Where
do you think the word "I don't send" comes in from? It's lack of self-respect. You talk say send. How you go live your life? You talk say send. How? Like how?
Well,
you look at yourself and you say send. Okay.
Interesting.
Are you ready to exit?
Wait till send.
Like are you ready to exit when you say? You see, there are some things that are there, whether you like it or not. You have to accord and regard those things. Yeah,
of course,
it's normal. But once you now cross the bridge of I no send, then you're heading for a shorter life. Because nothing impresses you, nothing makes you feel some type of way. You have less regard for anything, or because I'm on my own, I deal on my own, and all the rest. You're only dying.
Yes, but I still feel like a lot of people don't have self-respect regardless.
Oh, no.
Excuse me. I feel they don't have self-respect. I feel like it's if, for example, if a lot of people respected themselves,
right,
they would see how much power they have. Like if you see how much power you have, like. So, for example, me being an artist and deciding to not dine and wine with certain factors, people that we may want to refer to as principalities and powers. Like me deciding to not have that type, but it's out of self-respect because I cannot back up.
Self-respect comes from knowing your limit.
Is it limits?
Knowing what you carry and how big or small it is, because it's an awareness. You can't have something that is not as big as and you want to blow it out of proportion. Wow, Bambi. Once you unleash like this, woman hang at
that's
some point.
That's an odd moment.
Of course, now, of course. That's why I say, you see that self-thinking, it's a lot of hard work for a lot of people to do. Because everybody will ballet.
I mean, I guess that's why this topic is existent.
Right.
I guess that's why we're having this topic.
Right.
Because it's high time for us as people to start to have those real conversations.
Those moments, we need it.
Like respect of the self. So, for example, respect yourself enough to know that if life is balanced by scale, and yes, life is not balanced by scale, but for us to do better, we have to start to think about those type of thoughts,
right?
And say, let's scale and balance life. Waiting, like made and do to do unto person.
Number one rule.
Yes, like respect yourself enough to know that whatever it is that you're doing, if reciprocated, because respect is reciprocal.
Right.
If reciprocated, would you still feel the way you feel about it right now? Like, because we have a generation of people where they think it's cool, for example, to just be silly, right, at people, not according respect to the self or even to the object of observation.
Right.
They are not doing that, and you can see that every day because, again, I know send now, me, I want to in. You know what? That's fine. Send. If the person really deal with self really no send and they catch you,
then there's chaos.
And they catch you. Yes, now. As in,
there has to be moments to everything.
You send at that point, like, you get what I mean? Because I'm an honest person. I try to be as honest as possible. I dare not say I'm an honest person because I've not reached the maximum of that, and I don't think anybody can ever reach there. But I try to be as honest as possible, and my honesty is basic. If it's okay for you to do it to me, it must be okay for me to do it to you. Whether I choose to now reciprocate, like respect, is my own decision.
Of course.
But if it's okay for you to be disrespectful to somebody, it must be okay for somebody to be disrespectful to
you. You understand?
It doesn't have to be me. I guess that's
everything
where karma comes in
is
as well.
hard work. You see, that evil is so easy to do. And people love to do things that are convenient to their soul. And that's why you have almost all the time, you don't have good dealings.
But is it even really convenience to their soul?
It's just easy to do. Because it's easy to do. It's easy to carry out. To inflict pain on people. They cause people anything. Like, they're already bitter. Their soul is bitter already. So now saying, okay, they want to do you bad stuff. You think they'll think it twice? They won't. Because that self-respect no even day for them.
It's not like
That's why they see anything, maybe saying like this, you see like microscope, like, no, it has to be this one way. If it's not this one way, then nothing is happening. So, how much of self-respect does that kind of person have in his life? Because whatever you wake up to every day, whatever drive is what's going to make that day what it is for you. On the wrong side of bed, on the wrong going on, I'm like battle my shoot. Do you understand?
Yeah.
On the okay, wrong side. Allah, shift it back to that right energy and get into the right doings of things. So self-respect cannot be overemphasized in anybody's life.
That's right.
In Weku, Nikini, Nimonte. Do you understand?
No, you say I mean, guy, like it's you don't know how much this means to me, because I've always wanted. Because I see young people,
right,
that ask certain questions, and sometimes it leaves you asking, like, I don't understand, like, how do you not know this? But then nobody knows everything. Even me, I don't know. There are things I don't know, right? So I appreciate the fact that people take time out to teach, especially in an era where we have too many things failing. Sadly, part of it is parenting.
Yeah.
And
that's the basics.
Yes, part of it is parenting, and it's quite crazy. So I appreciate you for taking time out to at least just deliberate on respect.
I'll do this with you anytime, fam.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Radio, baby. Guys, it was interesting having a conversation with, I call him Gabe. Gabe Afolayan. That would be your American name. Introducing Gabe Afolayan as. So it was great talking to Gabriel Afolayan. I like the fact that the conversation was just honest. Like, it was just like, you don't have to be perfect at anything. Just be honest and be consistent with it, I guess. But I had a great time regardless, and we would definitely be doing this some more. Yes, and you can check the handles out. The hashtag is Lafiaji Radio. The handle will be at Lafiaji Radio, at Lafiaji Radio Podcast. We are here. Bless up.
Yep.